Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about the 4080 Super on day 3 of having this. So I wanted to get into this and I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm just a little bit disappointed. After all the people in the comments section over the last few months going on and on and on about like how great the 4080 is and how the ray tracing performance and yada yada, just everything that they say, all the videos from like Daniel Owens and everybody else that I've watched, and I get it. I know that like my 5900X could potentially be holding this back, and I mean that is a real factor. But if you actually look at that, so listen to what you're saying, and this is why I think a lot of people kind of might kind of come across like PC being like a headache and too expensive and stuff like that. So in order to make my 4080 run better, to get the most out of it, I have to upgrade to the AM5 platform. And that there is going to run anywhere from, just for the motherboard, anywhere from a couple $100 up to the one that I actually want to buy, which is $479. So you add that $479 on there. Then if I was to upgrade right now, it would be like a 7800X3D or potentially even the 7950X3D. That's, those are the two that I'm kind of bouncing around while I'm waiting for the next CPUs from AMD. So that there's, I mean, right there, where if I do the 7950 XT, then I'm already at $1,000. If I do the 38 or the 7800X3D, then it's like $700 right there, a little bit over $700. Plus I got to get the RAM, which is another, like $120 or whatever. I mean, that's not super duper expensive, but I mean, we're already looking at another $1,000 on top of the $1,200 that I just spent for the 4080 Super, just to be able to get where I'm at now. I was just playing around with some Forza Motorsport and a few other games. I'll have some video running, some B-roll footage running, in this video as well. But I was just playing Forza Motorsport. Okay, now I've tried this game on multiple cards, and I do all of my sim racing on my 4K OLED. So I need pretty much a GPU to be able to run Forza Motorsport with ray tracing at 4K resolution and still get me at least a minimum of 60 frames per second. I'm not able to get that, guys. Well, I mean, obviously, I could lower, some settings, or, I mean, that's why it gets disappointing, my friends. That's why it gets disappointing. Actually, I'm not going to do any B-roll. I'm just going to run this video like that. I'm uploading the whole Forza Motorsport video, so you guys can just check that out if you guys want to go look at that. I did a few races on there, just one lap each. And like at first I thought, all right, cool, I finally got a GPU that's going to run 4K, give me freaking, all the ray tracing, let me just max everything out. Because when I was first racing on the Nordschleife, I was in the 70s pretty much the whole freaking time, 70s, 80s, and I was like, yeah, finally. And that's exactly what I was thinking during this whole race. But then I get to the next track, and then it's like in the 40s to 50s, and I'm like, what the freak is going on? And that's a smaller track too. I was on gosh dang it, what's the name of that one? Silverstone. I was on Silverstone, and I'm like, gosh dang. And then I go to Mugello, and that one's like 40 frames a second, 50 frames a second. Then I go over to Laguna Seca, and that one there, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that like the Nordschleife runs perfectly. But you know what, that could all be down to just optimization still for Forza Motorsport, and that's definitely a true, I mean, a possibility at this point. But then I'm playing what's it called, Horizon Forbidden West. I did about 40 minutes of video on that one. I might upload that full video too. So I did about 40 minutes of Horizon Forbidden West at 4K Ultra settings with DLSS and no frame generation, and that was giving me about 80 to 100 frames a second. That was pretty decent. I'm not upset with that. But like, I don't know, my friends, like the way that people were talking about the 4080 and the 4080 Super and all of that stuff, like it just gives you, it just gives you this false sense of having enough power to like run what you want to run and stuff. And I mean, obviously as a 1440p GPU, this is awesome. It's definitely, I'm definitely putting it in like the 7900 XT category for sure. You know, because I mean it does do pretty dang good. It's usually consistently ahead of the 7900 XT. But at this point, it's not a big enough gap most of the time to really justify that extra money, especially when you can get a 7900 XT for right around $700 right now. I don't think, I mean, I bought the gigabyte card. It's $10.99. You know, after tax, it was like $11.71 or something. You know, so almost $1,200 for this GPU. And I just keep thinking, man, I'm just like, wow, dude, I at least expected, you know, like good 4K, because I'm pretty sure I've heard multiple people tell me, yeah, man, I'm getting 4K with this and, you know, max settings and everything. So that's what I've been testing it as, because that's what everybody, you know, has been like, you know, trying to undercut my 7900 XT and tell me how big of a piece of trash that is, while propping up a 4080 and a 4080 Super. And now I'm testing that. And I gotta tell you guys, I think you were lying to me, man. I do. I think you guys were not being completely honest with me. And I get it, you know? I mean, like the whole fanboy thing gets in the way sometimes, and it really sucks, man, because I'm not disappointed. Like I quickly got to the point where I'm like, all right, yeah, this is a little bit better than the 7900 XT. And that's fine. Like, that's fine. I bought this, you know, and I am mostly happy with it. Like, I'm actually fairly happy with the 4080 Super. Like, I do get better ray tracing performance on everything that I try on it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely get a better experience. And it does, you know, it does perform better than the 4070 Super by far. So I mean, that there is at least a good thing, that I can use the 4080 Super and be like, okay with that. And I'm actually gonna probably get rid of the 4070 Super. I'm not gonna just let it sit there on the shelf. I was thinking about it, but you know what, guys, with this YouTube thing being as expensive as all this stuff is, and you know, there's other things that I want to get for the channel, and I want to just kind of move things forward. So yeah, we're just going to get rid of that. I'm keeping the 7900 XT and I'm keeping the 4080 Super. We're just going to, you know, we're just going to play with those and see how that goes, you know, throughout the rest of this generation. Well, I don't even know if I'm going to upgrade to a 50 series card, because to tell you the truth, guys, I'm at a point now that I just don't think these upgrades are meaningful enough to where it justifies the money that they're asking for these GPUs. Maybe every other generation. And this is like something that I've had to learn all by myself, man, because I've listened to the people in the community. I've made buying decisions based on information that they've given me. And, you know, I'm more of like a literal person, man. Like when somebody tells me something and I get overhyped, my expectations literally go through the roof, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I expect that. And so that's why I get frustrated a lot easy. And when things aren't going the way that they're supposed to go, that frustrates me. And I've displayed that, you know, throughout this whole channel, that like, yeah, man, like I don't like being freaking suckered into stuff. Like, I don't like that. I think it sucks, man. And I just want people to know the truth about these GPUs, man, because there's a lot of other gamers like myself that have been playing console for a long time, and they're listening to this stuff like, oh yeah, these PC and all this stuff. And I mean, and they're gonna have lofty expectations just like I do, and just like I did when I came into PC. So the only other upgrades I'm doing on this PC, I was gonna build a whole new PC, but I'm just gonna freaking get a board, get a CPU, and get the memory. I'm gonna upgrade to the AM5 platform, probably, you know, I'm kind of just waiting until the new CPUs from AMD come out, and then I'll probably just still end up getting like a 7000, you know, like the 7800X 3D, or either the 7800X 3D or the 7950X 3D. If I can get like a good enough performance bump out of either one of those, as opposed to just going to the new CPUs, like I just don't even care, man. For the most part, like at 1440p, every card I have right now knocks it out of the park. Don't necessarily have an issue with that. When it comes to 4K gaming, I'm not gonna chase 4K gaming, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Especially like with the 4090, man. Like, I really do kind of have like anxiety about that plug. So I'm just kind of staying away from that one. I would get one, but I'm just gonna stay away from that, and just stick with my 4080 and just be happy. I'm kind of at my rope's end when it comes to PC stuff and like trying to, you know, show stuff off and all of that stuff. I mean, when it comes to the NVIDIA stuff, man, like I've never really gotten the views on the NVIDIA stuff, so it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, a lot of people like the AMD stuff, and I love AMD. Like I absolutely love AMD, and you know, sometimes I feel like, man, I should have just got a 7900 XTX, and you know, but I would probably be in, you know, close to the same boat I'm in right now. You know, I would just be like, all right, this wasn't that big of an upgrade. It's decent enough, but I don't know anymore, man. Like, I really just don't think high-end PC gaming is for me. To be completely honest with you, I feel like I get more disappointed the higher I go, because the cost just gets so much more than what you can get for a mid-range PC, and basically it's just not worth the little bit of frame rate that you get for that extra money. Because I mean, think about it, the 7800 XT and the 4070 Super absolutely are good cards. They knock it out of the park and 100% deliver a great quality experience on a PC platform. And then you literally double the price for a 4080 Super, but you do not double the performance, man. You get maybe, gosh, maybe like 20, 25, maybe 30-ish% increase over what those cards are already delivering. And, you know, I don't even think it's that high. I don't even think it's that high, man. Like, when I'm playing at like 1440p, and I'm looking at the frame rate, and if you're utilizing things like FrameGen or AMD's Fluid Motion Frames or any of that stuff, like it's like you can't tell the difference, man. The game literally looks the same, and it literally plays just as smooth. I mean, as the 4080. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. Like, it's tough trying to figure this stuff out and make content for it. But as it sits right now, I just wanted to let you guys know that I think a lot of people that are out there just blabbing away about the 4080 and all of this stuff, take everything PC with a grain of salt, my friends. That's the best thing I can tell you, because if you're just sitting there and you're feeling like, oh man, if I just got this, it would be better, because I do that. That's what I'm doing, you know. I'm like, man, if I just get this and it's just better, and then I can do this. I don't think it's worth it, my friends. I don't think it's worth buying a high-end PC. I just don't, yeah, man, I just am not getting, I'm just not getting that like, whoa, blowing me out of my seat freaking experience going from like a 4070 Super to a 4080 Super, or going from the 7800 XT to like the 7900 XT. I'm just not getting that. I'm not receiving that, and that kind of sucks, man, because you would think if you're spending double the price, you should get. It's crazy, guys. Like, I'm more impressed with the 7800 XT and a 4070 Super than I am a 4080 Super and a 7900 XT. I just feel like the cheaper the cards get, and the more performant they are, and the better experience, you know, it gives you, and the more stable experience that it can give you. At like 1440p or whatever, I just kind of feel like that is a solid place to start PC gaming. I do. And I don't think that you really need to spend all the money on this expensive stuff. I know that I want that X670 board. I want the freaking, you know, and I want to, you know, upgrade to the AM5 platform just because AM4 is getting a little bit old now. I do want to upgrade that so I don't have to worry about upgrading the CPU anymore for a while. But yeah, as it sits right now, guys, I definitely like the 4080 Super, but I don't necessarily, I can't with good conscience be like, yeah, man, go get a 4080 Super. I just can't do that to you, man. I cannot recommend something like a 4080 Super to anybody, especially with the 7900 XT out there for like 700 bucks. There's no way I could recommend spending this much money, especially, you know, for even for the ray tracing performance. If you're going to use it at 1440p and that's your main thing, 1440p, absolutely, this is an amazing card. Like, it blows 1440p out of the water, but I need to upgrade my CPU so I'm not bottlenecked all the time. You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? You're going to spend $1,200 on a GPU, then you're going to spend another, you know, $600 to $1,000 just on upgrading your platform. So yeah, that's my honest recommendation for you guys, man. I'm sorry that, like, it's not a better, more glowing praise for NVIDIA, but I don't necessarily think it's only like NVIDIA's fault, though. I do think that their prices are a little bit high, but I also feel like once I upgrade my platform, this is going to run better. My 7900 XT is going to run better. So that's where we're going next, is upgrading the platform. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.